Hello. In this video, I just really want to talk about some, well, why Apple is doing so dang good. Some history about the company, the luxury brand, the computer, MacBook Air, and all that cool stuff. Before I get started, down below in the description there's a link. And if you click on it, there's education and training on how someone can make really a lot of money using social media. Okay. Now, in December 2015, someone goes to an office party with, I think it was an 8K, was it AR-15, some gun, and shoots all of his fellow workers. It was in San Bernardino, California. Do you remember that? And the FBI obtained the shooter's iPhone, and they got these federal court orders mandating Apple to unlock that phone. And guess what? What happens? Apple defies it. No, we're not going to do it. And the U.S. public was actually split on the issue. Some people for Apple, some people for the FBI. It was pretty crazy. What do you think about that whole thing, huh? Now, here's an idea. What if that there was like some hostage in a trunk of a car, like Ford, and they go with a court order to get Ford to open this trunk that somehow was you couldn't open. And would you be open? Would you want the FBI to open that trunk? I don't know. Interesting question, huh? Very, very interesting. So it's pretty fascinating. Overall, if you really look at Steve Jobs from a lot of different people, he was not the nicest guy there was. He was pretty horrible. He didn't give pretty much anything to charity. He hired exclusively white, middle-aged people. And according to Guy Kawasaki, who worked for, he was one of the original Apple employees, what motivated him was not to get embarrassed by Steve Jobs at a meeting. He would come in and say things, why are you still working here? Why are you dumb? It's just brutally beat people up with their words. And he was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He sat in court just denying his own blood, refusing to pay child support. It's fascinating. Now, the iPod was introduced in 2001 and was really the bright spot after 9/11, after it came in. Same as the Beatles' appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show after the Kennedy assassination. Our old culture and society after 9/11, we needed our spiritual, we needed like an uplift. And that's what it kind of helped out with. And one of the unsung heroes of Apple was Napster's founder, Sean Fanning, who scared the music industry into the arms of Apple. Yes. And partnered with them similar to a vampire with a blood bank. Yeah, they got sucked away, their blood. Uh, Now, Steve Jobs, one of the good things about Steve Jobs that made Apple successful was he made taking risk a first option. And this is, well, like the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. Same thing with Jeff Bezos from Amazon. They're much more into taking risk. It helps. And he punished very careful thinking. He wasn't into that. He was also a destructive force in the company. Bullying attitudes about philanthropy was tiny, which is like, helping people that are poor and stuff. His death ended the company's historic run of innovation, but it allowed Tim Cook, who's the present CEO, to focus on predictability, profits, and scale. And in 2015, Apple was the most successful firm in history. Okay? With $53 billion in net profits. Apple computers were luxury, they're not ugly, and luxury allows us to be more attractive to the opposite sex, about sex. All right, so in 2016, Apple had 14.5% of the market share when it comes to smartphones and 79% profits. I mean, think about that. That's big, I mean, they make this product is dirt cheap and they go market, huge profits. People buy stuff like it's going out of style. And it comes all down to, well, let's talk about luxury. Back a long time ago, people would go to church so they could see luxury, but nowadays it's more out there. And let's talk about guys. We'll pay a lot of money to improve so that we can have sex, and it's not rational. In 1980s, the company declined. Microsoft was winning the whole battle with the computer, right? 1980s, Bill Gates was winning. The Mac was launched in 1984, and it was more expensive. It was underperformed, but they made a different way of looking at it. Like artists could express themselves on it, okay? And we can claim, hey, we're thinking differently. We're not like you. We're cool, you know. It wasn't sexy, okay? The transformation began to what was sexy was the iPod, and it could put a bunch of music in your pocket. All right, that's kind of cool, right? Hey, check this out, girl. Here's some cool music. Apple would drop computer from its name because it was anchored in the past and went with the things like MacBook Air in the future, right? Air, ooh, sexy. In 2015, debuted the Apple Watch, closed the loop. The company purchased a 17-page spread to celebrate the arrival. And guess what? It wasn't like some computer or technology magazine. No, it was Vogue. Ooh. Um, and it wants to sell millions of their products, but 1% of the world can afford it. Like diamonds, right? And some people think luxury is the opposite of poverty. But according to the Coco Channel, I don't know even what that is. I basically got it from this book called The Four, from Scott Galloway, which was a great book. I'm still reading it right now. But it's not, luxury is not the opposite of poverty. It's the opposite of vulgarity. Does that make sense to you? I don't know. Now, dying young also improves a brand. Think of Elvis, right? He died before he hit 40, and guess what? Bam! After he died, sales of his records, Graceland, just boom, skyrocketed. Jobs looked good when he died. He wasn't like some, old. So since then, the Apple brand burned brighter and it really helped sales. Isn't that interesting? It is kind of. And Apple's about simplicity. It's like, you know, when interaction with an object sparks delight, brand loyalty increases. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, it's like wearing a shirt. You wear a suit and tie because we feel better and let's work better. Attractive objects make us feel good. And then you look at the stores, the Gap, right? Gap was a great store. Drexler, the CEO, gave customers a place to step into the brand. It was a cool experience. He built great stores. And Steve Jobs brought Drexler into Apple's board of directors, okay, in 1999. And 2 years later, Apple launched its first brick and mortar store. And they were glitzier than Gap. And basically advanced Apple as a luxury brand. Nice windows, you can be seen buying Apple. Look at me, guys, huh? Ooh. Now, Apple makes the phones in China with American chips, and the billions of earnings route to a tax haven, including Ireland. So huge profits, very low-cost product. It's one of the most profitable firms in history. And the cool thing is, Apple golfs Moore's Law a long time ago, offering more for less. The race to zero, got off of that, baby. And instead, sales being closer to godlike status and being more attractive. That's what they're selling. The iPhone debuted in 2007, destroying Nokia, which was 20% of Finland's GDP. Think about this. Let me move this computer back. Apple has more cash than the GDP of Denmark, a country, the Russian stock market, and the market cap of Boeing, Airbus, and Nike combined. Dang. I mean, holy dang it. Apple has deeper moats than any firm in the world, and its status as a luxury brand will aid in its longevity. Okay, so it's going to be really tough to entrench Apple from, boom, what it has. It's good. It's good country. Not country, company. It's a good company. Okay, and according to the author, what he suggested is he's actually also a professor at New York University, where he claimed that the university charges kids $500 a minute for education. And education in America has remained the same for 50 years and increased prices faster than cable and even healthcare. Boom, expensive. So he's like, something? Since you got so much cash, Apple, and all these students use your MacBook Airs and your, all this, your products, why not take a little bit of that cash, boop, and put it back into education? What do you think, huh? Not a bad idea. So now, well, hopefully you like this video. And if you did, please hit the thumbs up. But if you are interested in making cash online, maybe in lieu of a job or your career, which, jobs, having a job security is hard nowadays. I highly encourage you to click that link below. Okay, it's really really good education and training about how to make money. Using social media platforms. It's very good. Check it out. I'm sure you'll love it. Anyways, I hope you like this video and you learned something, and I wish you the best. Take care and bye.